There was lack of income in the rural areas. There was the waste which need to be catered. Why don't you put them together and create an opportunity out of it? And they never believed it. They said कि ये कबाड़ी से हम लोग जो बनाएंगे ये क्या होगा? इसे कौन खरीदेगा? I will also say that some of the crafters, they have become the rural designers. They come up with a new design.
Welcome to our podcast. We're absolutely thrilled to have Nilanjana Das joining us today. She is the visionary founder of Paper Wings by Act, an extraordinary brand that's making a significant impact by upcycling paper waste into eco-friendly products, all while empowering rural women. Hi, Nilanjana. Thank you for doing this with us today.
Hello, Akansha. I'm so happy to be here.
Great. So let's get started. Tell us about your foundation, Act, and how did that come about 10 years ago?
Yeah, the journey started, of course, 10 years ago, and it has got a story behind it. Why act and why paper? I was working with some projects here, and then I happened to visit a village in Haryana. I met a lady who had lost her husband, and I could see the emotional insecurity in her eyes, the social insecurity, the economic insecurity. So that was the time when I felt that you need to do something for these women, for the women who are in these villages who does not have a very dependable source of income. So we had made a proposal and we had visited a few corporates for funding, and so to find this group of 10 women, because it was not only that lady, but there were similar ladies who need a source of income for them. But that time, the corporates, because we were just a very new organization, just starting up, and then they were not very ready to, they were not ready to give the funds or the monetary support. But they told us that you are an NGO. Why don't you work on waste? Because waste was that time a very upcoming problem in the urban areas, particularly in Gurgaon and Delhi. And here it was I can say a time, a chance, a moment when it clicked me. Why don't you put these two opportunities, or the two problems together? See them as an opportunity. There's lack of income in the rural areas. There was the waste which need to be catered. Why don't you know, put them together and create an opportunity out of it? I went back again to that corporate office and remember, and I said, I'm ready to collect the waste. Give me your waste. And then we did again a lot of, we sat down with a few of my friends, and then they were ready to give all the paper waste from the corporate. The waste, which not only included the newspaper waste, but also the magazines, the A4 size papers, the cardboards, all kind of paper. Forming with some of our friends who are from the different design institutes, that these paper, how we can transform them into a product. Putting up a recycling unit needed a lot of money. I remember making a proposal going to the government, but that project never got sanctioned. So then what next? So, we can't stop there. So, without any kind of resources in the terms of machinery or things which the women required there, it's only the magic of the hand that you can convert the paper waste into the product. So that was the time. It was, I remember, 6 months we did a training in that particular village, and we started with uh, 5 women and 2 products. The first product we did was a photo frame, and the second was a coaster, a square coaster that we sit with them and teach them, and they never believed it. They said कि ये कबाड़ी से हम लोग जो बनाएंगे ये क्या होगा? इसे कौन खरीदेगा? And in the same year, we had an exhibition, and to my surprise, all the products were sold, and I could pay the money to the women. So that was one positive factor, which again inspired me that there is a potential. There is, in those time, it's a long back when hardly anybody even talked about upcycling, because I remember using the word upcycling for the first time, and I could explain what is the difference between the recycling and upcycling. So, and convincing, people or the friends around me to buy such a product was a difficult one, but people appreciated this alternative line of products which are coming into the market, right? So, so we had a very good, sale, and I was happy that they could be paid the money that whatever the products will be.
So, who comes up with the designs of the products initially and also today? Because I see that you have close to 50 odd different designs or even more. So, do you today have a design team? Who designs the
Yes,
products?
in those initial years, uh, I had a friend, not a friend, she's a sister to me, and she was in Jaipur Art and Craft. Her name is Shirley. She was the first designer with us. And, and I knew she's a designer and my husband is an architect. So the paper, we used to sit and brainstorm. So the first set of coasters was designed by Shirley. I'll say over the time, I have been lucky or I have been able to collaborate with people, collaborate with designers. We had designers from School of Planning and Architecture also because we were interested. And they were the people where we worked together and took out the first eco candle, paper candle. It's made of paper, but it lights, it doesn't burn. Then we had Dastakar. We were regular participants in the Dastakar fairs. We were also one of the partner organizations where Dastakar came as a design consultant. So some of the products are also designed by Dastakar. A few of them, like the lamps, some coasters, some trivets. So we had a lot of sessions where women and we all sat together and we developed a few products with them. Slowly and gradually, I will also say the some of the crafters, they have become the rural designers. They come up with their new designs. If there is, for example, the Christmas, and I'll just tell them or just explain this is what the product I need, and let's work on this. And to my surprise, they'll come exactly with the same product and much maybe better than that, which I have never imagined. So I feel, this coming from the inside out, what we say, coming from the grassroots, coming from the communities, because, and we call this as an acquired craft. This is not a traditional craft. Upcycling, the techniques that we use of, the folding, the rolling, the coiling, and the paper weaving, there's a different techniques that we use, has been taught to these women. So it's an acquired craft. But gradually and slowly, they've imbibed it. They've imbibed it so well that today, if they see any structure, I think so they can make the structure out of it.
And how do you ensure quality? Because I understand, I imagine that they must be all working either in their own villages. How is that entire process happening, and how are you ensuring quality of the product when suppose you get a larger order?
So we have 500 women who are with us. So apart from all the financial and the training and the skill development training, entrepreneurship training programs we do, there are other health programs, education programs for the children, some legal programs which are happening with these women. Now, among this 500, there are 150 who are really, they do it in a very, all 500 are trained, maybe trained more, another 1,000, but 500 are SAGs. Among them, 150 are very active. So we have cluster coordinators and we have a program coordinator. And every cluster are the women, SLGs, they have a leader, SLG leader, which we say. And then there is a cluster coordinator, and then there's a project coordinator. So, first of all, whoever wants to do it, first they need to be a part of an SLG. Then they're given a training of 3 months in their villages. So we do a complete study of which group does the which work. Now, the quality check that you're talking about, the quality check is at 4 levels. So first is at the individual level. Second is the leaders, the group leader level, the group leader. And then is the cluster coordinator who finally checks and she returns the products also. And then it comes to the office where our main coordinator, she does all the checking. And finally, she rejects a lot of things and goes back to the village. And then a final one, it comes to me. And then finally, we do it and then packaging it and putting it where the regret is. So there are 4 level of checkpoints, and every checkpoint has got its own parameters. What are the things that I want to see, before taking the product to the next level? These 2 years of COVID has taught us a lot of things. So one is discipline, craft. So that was an amazing learning for the whole organization and also for the crafters. The discipline, discipline. And second is the timely, because then we registered ourselves into different these online portals. The online portals, if they want a 4-inch coaster, you need a. So if you have given a provided a picture or the image of the product, it has to be the same. So this learning, having the same diameters or the same dimensions or the same color, maintaining your entire standardization. I think so that's a huge learning for the whole organization and for the crafters. Then how do we have this discipline to give the same products that we have committed to? So that was, and I think so with this, there was also learning in the crafters that अभी जो भी बनाएंगे वो नहीं चला जाएगा. एग्जीबिशन में तो हम जो बनाते थे चलो चला गया हमने दिखाया.
It's amazing how you've almost seen a challenge as a learning opportunity to be able to train your craftspeople to to take that learning curve and do better. So, do you get the question that if it's made out of waste, why is it so expensive?
Definitely. That was initially, I used to, and particularly in the schools or in somewhere, but not all. It's only a very specific customers. Nobody will ask you. There's only a few of them who will just straightforwardly ask you that it's after all it's made of a waste paper. Then why the cost is on the higher side?
Do you know how much waste paper have you been able to upcycle or even source till now over the last 10 years?
It's around 100 to 200 kgs of paper that we collect every month. Because, because on the last Sunday, so we have been tying up with some of the apartments here in Gurugram and some corporate offices. And there is a day fixed, last Sunday of the month. So that's the date, and they know where are the paper going. What is what is going to be done with these papers and where it goes, which villages, how many women. So they know everything about that. So, and we are fixed on last Sunday, and there's a person, he takes the car and he goes to these apartments and he collects the paper. We weigh them, we sort out them and distribute it to the different clusters where the paper is required. And for the example, in the festival seasons like Diwali or Christmas, where there is more requirement because there's orders more, we also buy some of the papers. Otherwise, it's a collection that we do.
Thank you so much, Nilanjana. This has been such an insightful conversation. There's so much that I have learned from your journey as well. And I wish you all the best with Act and Paper.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Akansha.